Hey, what's going on, everyone? I am back for another Slim Sports interview. As always, I am your host, Jay Slim. And joining me today is a returner to the brand, back for a second interview after dominating the MEAC for Morgan State. My guy, a 6'9" center, the beast in the middle, Alan Udemadu. How's it going, big man?
Picks up the field, feeds the wing, Cam Hobbs. Hobbs on the bounce, right hand, 8 to shoot. Baseline, Udemadu, two-hand stuff by Alan Udemadu.
Doing good, bro. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm blessed to have you on again. You know, you're my brother for
Yes,
life.
sir.
We've been locked in since the first moment we met back at FSW, and
Yes,
I've
sir.
gotten to see you grow your game at the Division I level this past season. Went on to Morgan State, and you had a great season individually. The team as a whole ended up going 11-20 overall, but in conference action, you guys kind of got things together, 7-7.
Yeah.
In conference action, where you went start of the season, you were coming off the bench in the rotation, and by the end of it, you were one of the primary options. So this past year alone has just been absolutely amazing for you yourself. Talk to me real quick about your first year at the Division I level. What was that experience like for you?
Uh, Great question, man. Just it's an adjustment. It's something where you come from the junior college level, you already having that hunger helped, having that drive to wanting to get better in everything I do. But then you realize there's a lot of things that are different. Practices are longer at the Division I level. So those things right there, you have more things to do. Your time window is shorter. You have less time to yourself. So that adjustment at first is something that took me some time to actually understand and figure out a way, to catch a rhythm. And once I caught my rhythm with it, it was great.
Absolutely, man. I mentioned before the first couple of games, you guys played some very tough teams, Arizona, BYU. You ended up coming off the bench as one of those rotational guys, uh,
Yeah.
seventh, eighth man option type thing. And as the season went on, the coaching staff saw something in you to where they put you in that starting rotation, and then you took a hold of that spot and you just ran with it. Absolutely, just did a phenomenal job throughout the season as a whole. 8 points per game, 7 rebounds, shot 60% from the field. He had 7 double-doubles overall. Talk to me real quick about that transition from being one of those rotational guys to being a primary option. What did you really do when you were on the court that the coaching staff saw to where they realized, all right, we got to make this guy one of our main dudes?
Uh, First of all, it's just working every day, coming every day ready to work. And regardless of games I played, games I didn't play, I came in the next day knowing that we still had work to do. And then over time, I just had to find my niche. Because like you say, coming up as a seventh, eighth guy, I realized like everybody can't do the same thing. We need guys that do different things, be the energy guy, be like a bruiser, be something. So uh over time in practice, I just started to apply different things and watch our games. I see things that we actually needed. Sometimes we play teams and it felt like they were bringing that physicality to us before we gave it to them. So I realized, hey, I have the size, I have the strength, I have the ability. So why not use that and be that guy that punches first, be a bruiser. And from there he just started getting more confident in that and understanding that this is something that we really need. And, the intensity in practices change because you start to see this, uplifting the energy in practice. And then even games, it translates to the games. And one more thing that I made sure I did was practice how I played. So every time I practiced, I went hard. I just made sure I went extremely hard every time in practice. And I think the coaches saw it, and they saw that if the way I practiced and being able to translate that in the game, if they can put me in the game and I do that, it would be a big addition to our team. And I got the opportunity, played and just it translated from there. I think the work just paid off, just practicing as hard as I could every day. And when game time came, it just felt like another practice day, going as hard as I can.
Yeah, you went as hard as you could every single time. Trust me, I saw the dunks, I saw the blocks, I saw you bully balling people down low on those post ups. including your former teammate Wes, which we'll get into here in a bit. Got to give him a little shout out there. But one of the things that you did so well for your team that I think they really admired was your work on the defensive end. And
Yes.
that ended up earning you not once but twice throughout the season MEAC Defensive Player of the Week. What did that mean to you to kind of get your work on the court recognized, not just by your own teammates, but by an entire conference seeing what you can do?
It meant a lot, more especially in the world we're living right now with the media, knowing that you don't really get highlights. You can play a game and have so much impact defensively, and people don't really care about that. People are more on the scoring. People care more about the shots, putting the ball in the hole, which is what the game is about. But then the other end is we score and the other team comes down and they score. It really doesn't do anything. It just negates what we did. And I locked down on that, and I understood my abilities to be a force. And that was something that I ideally didn't even expect. I wasn't working towards that. It was just I was working on being the best defensive guy I could be. Really getting that recognition from the conference. But then, because I never thought about it, I never thought about, hey, I want to get this recognition. But after the first one, I was like, wow, okay. It put that fire in me. I was like, okay, it looks like they're actually watching. They acknowledge that this effort is being put here. Because in defense, you can put so much effort, do so much that people don't really know. But if you're being a defensive guy, you just have to know this is what I do. It's what you do, and you don't really look for credit. But when you get that credit, it adds more fire in you. I think after the first one, the first the defensive player of the week recognition, I was like, okay, seems like I really do this. I actually do this. So let's keep doing it. I couldn't go back from there. So that meant a lot, and I think that led to the second time I got it, because it became more of a confidence booster for me, knowing that I just wasn't doing trial and error. I actually do it, and they recognized that it's my niche. It wasn't about the scoring for me in the conference. It was about my defense, and being a guy that got recognized for something specific meant a lot to me.
Absolutely, man. And it was awesome when you got those awards. Love the graphics that Morgan State put out. They knew what pictures to use. They had quite a few of you screaming after dunks. So I
Yeah,
thought that was pretty cool what they put
yeah,
there. And what's crazy is you got it twice, which a lot of the players in that conference really didn't get it twice, but you ended up getting snubbed from the all defensive team. I know we went from positive note to
yeah.
like what's going on here type thing right there, but do you feel like, you kind of prove them wrong at some point where it's like, hey, listen, like, I do deserve to be on this all defensive team. And do you feel like you kind of got snubbed?
Absolutely. I totally feel like I got snubbed on that, because like you said, a lot of guys didn't get it twice. And also on the blocks, I was like the second leader, number two in blocks in the conference. And so those things, it was guys who just weren't even on the list. It got it, which I salute those guys, because I played against those guys and I know they really put their work in. But just speaking from an individual standpoint, I think I really got snubbed in it, but I didn't take it personal, because at the end of the day, I know as humans, as humans, you have emotions, we have our bias as people. So maybe it just wasn't my luck. They just didn't have that favor towards me to actually see and look closer and understand that this guy maybe deserved to get that recognition. It was quite a surprise to me. I actually didn't expect to get snubbed just like that. But I think that they gave me a lot of motivation to maybe next time do more. So there's no way you can actually snub something that is very obvious.
Yeah, man. I mean, your production on the floor night after night, you always had great games. I do gotta point out a few key games throughout the season: 24 points and 7 rebounds in a big overtime win against Coppin State. 18 points and 17 rebounds in a game against NJIT, where I mean, both of those games you just absolutely dominated. I believe that game against NJIT ended up helping you get your first Defensive Player of the Week award throughout the season. I believe
Yeah.
it was during that week. And now you're looking to yeah, MEAC, they didn't think you deserved to be on the all defensive team. You're going to prove them wrong because I have a feeling we're going to see your name on the Missouri Valley Conference defensive team this upcoming season because you're making that move from Morgan State to Missouri State, which obviously is it's a very interesting move, not just because you transferred, but the fact that you're remaining a Bear. I thought that was kind of funny how you went from the Morgan State Bears to Missouri State Bears. So it is kind of funny how that all worked out. But talk to me real quick about that decision making. What was it that made you choose to leave Morgan State and go specifically to Missouri State?
Morgan State was a great time, great year. And Morgan State had our ups and downs, and the coaching staff did everything they possibly could, and helping my development. But as time went by, I realized that I needed to challenge myself a little more and make that adjustment. And just actually talking, I got in the transfer portal. It's a very uncomfortable period when you're in the transfer portal because you want to make sure you make the best decision. But I had a word with Coach Quanzo, and I think at that point there was no question. Like it just wasn't any question on where I wanted to be at. Like he just sounded like the kind of coach I wanted to be around for my coming up, for the following year that I have right now. Everything he said, I came on my visit, all the coaches, Coach Quanzo, Coach Marco, Coach Quinn, Coach Crump, Coach Carson, all these guys are amazing guys. Just great coaching staff there, are like a family, and that supporting cast that you need, that system where they never let you get comfortable, and they let you know how good you can become, and that you just have to put in the work, and they're there every day, every single day to put in their work with you. So that was something that I noticed on the visit. I realized that, and I was like, okay, this is a place for me to come and just maximize my potential right here.
Yeah, and there's going to be another familiar face for you when you're already there. You guys are practicing alongside one another, but one of your former teammates from the JUCO days down at Florida Southwestern, Wesley Oba, who you ended up going against this past season when he was at Delaware State, also in the MEAC conference. So you guys went from being teammates to adversaries, now back to being teammates. And it's just a funny story over the past couple of years. First off, talk to me real quick how much fun it was to go against him, because I know you guys were guarding each other this past season, probably talking back to each other on the block, just like back in JUCO days at practice. How exciting was it to go against him, and how excited are you to play alongside him again now at Missouri State?
It was very exciting to play against him because Wes is a guy that I know I had to bring my best. I couldn't relax. He has a high motor. And even before games, I knew, okay, I can't let Wes, because I played with him before. So I know I practiced with him for a whole year, played against him in practice and everything. So I know he doesn't stop. So having to play against him was actually knowing his strengths. I'm like, okay, I know Wes wouldn't stop, and that brought the best out of me. So those games where I played Wes, it was, I knew I had to go for every rebound, because if I don't go for it, Wes is flying in out of somewhere, trying to get their rebound. And he's very active. He's everywhere. And like you say, we talk some trash just a little bit. Nothing bad. It's just like some motivational trash talking. Just let him know, like, hey, we're here. We're right here, and we going against each other. And it was fun. It was very fun games against Wes. And then being back together right now is amazing. I think when I came here, I thought about it. It's like, wow, it almost seems like we planned it, because when I went to Morgan State, I had no idea. I never thought of Wes being in the same conference as myself. I just went to Morgan State as me going to Morgan State. And next thing I know, Wes is in Dell State. And then we played against each other, and the same thing happened again. We came to Missouri State. Wes is in Missouri State too, and it almost seemed like we talked about this in FSW, that we were going to play against each other and play together again. But it's just amazing how life works, and I think it's happening for a great cause, and I'm very, very excited. Very excited for what it holds.
Yeah, and between the two of you, I mean, no one else is grabbing rebounds against Missouri State.
Oh no, we fighting for it. We definitely, we might have to make an agreement. We might have to do rock, paper, scissors for some of it because he's gonna have his hand on it. I have my hand on it too. So we're gonna have to decide who's getting that one.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun watching you guys play alongside one another. And obviously, with your playing style, you have such a soft touch around the rim. Know when to be aggressive. Obviously, bodying people up both on the offensive and defensive end. Uh, how do you feel like your playing style is going to be able to blend in and fit in with Coach Martin's system going into now his first year back at Missouri State this upcoming season?
Uh, I think it would be great because he already has watched my films and seen what I'm capable of, and what he wants to do is build off of what he knows I can do already. He's not trying to reinvent, any just change anything specific. He wants me to continue being who I am as a player, being the guy who comes in and plays hard and goes after every rebound, and then he wants to add things to that, being more of an offensive guy, being able to attack guys off the dribble, just expanding more on my skill set and using my size, my quickness, because it's a lot of guys. I strongly believe that I can beat up the dribble, and I haven't really shown that a lot. And doing that, but while doing that, not forgetting to keep the main thing, being the guy that I am, being a bruiser, a rebounder, going after every rebound, playing hard, being a vocal leader on the court, defensively, offensively, and every other thing is just a complementary aspect to it. But I definitely think I'll fit perfect because of my play style. I strongly believe I fit anywhere easily because it's something that is needed in the program. Just being a guy that comes in every day and works hard and does what he has to do, and then every other thing is just an add-on to it.
Yeah, you're going to be a strong presence in the post for them. That is for sure. Standing at 6'9", grabbing those boards like you do. And Missouri State, obviously in the Missouri Valley Conference, Drake, who kind of has been one of the more dominant teams in that conference the past few years, they have a huge change. Their head coach went on to West Virginia. A lot of their players left, so they kind of are in a rebuild type thing. I know a lot of predictions right now have Bradley as that top spot in the Missouri Valley Conference. Talk to me real quick about what fans should expect from Missouri State and what the Bears team needs to do in order to be that team to win the Missouri Valley and make it into March Madness.
It starts now. Like Coach says, it all counts. Every day counts. Everything we do counts, and it starts from like right now. And that's in the words of Coach Martin. Coach Conzo always says it all counts. So we're not waiting until the season comes, until the tip off. Because if we start then, we're already late. So it starts right now. Our preparation and our conditioning, being in the weight room, making sure everybody is strong enough, durable enough, able to play through the whole season. It starts right now, and regardless of what other teams are doing, we're not concerned about that. We are looking at ourselves, trying to make ourselves better than we were yesterday, and that's really what I think it is for us. It's not really about looking at the matchups they have right now. It's just the guys we have right now. What we have is what we have, and just working on that, improving our skill set, getting better, getting faster, stronger, and also defensively. We're going to be elite defensively. That's something that we have to emphasize because in order to play against those teams, we have to make sure we have a huge defensive force from every single guy that steps foot on the court. So that would be a big side of it too for us.
Yeah, man, I cannot wait to see what Missouri State does this upcoming season, especially with you and Wes helping to lead the way. Both of you guys in your final years of eligibility, and I know you guys are looking to make it to the grandest stage of them all, NCAA tournament. Beyond
Oh
proud,
yeah,
and I've gotten to see your career over the past few years, how you've grown, how you've improved, not just as a player, but as a person. One of the nicest people
appreciate
I've ever met as well. Off the court, you're a big old teddy bear, but on the court,
that.
I would not want to be going against you. That is for sure, man. So thank you
I
so much for
appreciate
hopping on
that.
here for another interview, bro. Really does mean a lot.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you very much.